Hi, my name's Isaac, and this is my brother's 2000 Toyota Tundra. And today, I'm gonna give you guys a 1-year ownership update on the truck. That's the good, the bad, and the mods that we've done to it. And I'm going to answer the most important question of all. Yes, I am wearing Crocs with vegetables on them. I just figured we'd get that out of the way. Now, my brother would be here to tell you guys about his ownership experience himself, but he actually just hit Eagle Scout at 16 years old, so honestly, he's probably off saving the world somewhere right now. But fortunately, I know about everything that's gone on mechanically with this truck, mainly because I've had to fix some of it, and he's told me very extensively about his ownership experience, and that I will share with you guys a little bit later in the driving segment. But let's start with the negatives. What have we had to fix or repair on this truck over the last year? The biggest thing has been the radiator. If you guys will recall, if you've seen my very first video on this Tundra, in the opening segment, a pink liquid actually started dripping out from underneath the engine bay. Initially, I thought it was just a hose that had come loose, but after I finished the review, I noticed that it looked like it could be a little bit more than that. So I took it to my mechanic, and he quickly diagnosed this as an issue that this generation of Tundras has quite often because of the parts wearing. So what had happened was the tubes for the engine coolant and the transmission fluid had actually melted together, and they started dripping into the same reservoir, thus creating an amoxicillin colored death fluid. Thankfully, I got it to the mechanic when I did though, because he said if this had gone on unabated, this could have destroyed the transmission in the truck. Though, we got it repaired, and the damage was around $1,000, having to replace the radiator, all the tubes, and flush all the fluids and put new ones in. Though, the good news is, for 8 more months, we did not have any issues on this truck. The next and final major issue that my brother has had on this truck actually originated up here with the sunglasses holder, which, on a separate note, we actually found. Originally, this was a garage door opener, and literally a week ago, my brother just looked in the glove box, and the sunglasses holder attachment was in here. I am baffled that we did not check the glove box for that, so he clipped it on here. But I digress, back to the major issue. So I forgot to plug in the microphone for his Bluetooth radio when I put it in originally, and he asked me about that. So one rainy day, I hopped in the truck to pop the radio out again to just plug that in, and I threw the toolbox down, and as I did, I looked up, and there was dripping coming from the sunglasses holder. And I went, oh wow, maybe I splashed something up here. But of course I opened it up and it was covered in water, and I realized that the windshield was leaking, unfortunately, somewhere in its seal. So when the rain let up, in an attempt to fix it myself, I lathered Flex Seal all over the top of the windshield liner. Shockingly, that did not work. So my brother ended up needing to get another windshield. That was about $200 all said and done with installation. And those are the only 2 major issues that he's had with this truck in the last year. Other than that, it's run really, really strong, and it's helped us in a lot of ways in our landscaping business. Moving on to more minor issues that were either free to fix or fairly inexpensive. Throughout the year of us owning this truck, the horn sometimes worked and sometimes it just didn't.
The horn decides when it will beep and when it will not beep.
And so my mom made my brother get that fixed, obviously for safety reasons. You can see also he's added this steering wheel cover right here. He loves it. I think it's actually pretty cool with the nice brown color in the leather texturing. Very comfortable. Another thing that was actually free to fix that I repaired on this is up here on the dome lights. When I noticed that the windshield was leaking, I took this console down and I accidentally broke one of the clips for the dome lights so it wouldn't go back into place. And what I ended up doing was I kind of MacGyvered it. So I took some staples. I took about 4 staples, that were stapled together, and I bent them up in an L shape like the latch was on here, and then I duct taped them to the light, and now it works. It's not great. It hangs down a little bit lower than the other light, but you can still click it and it holds it in place even after 5 months, which is amazing. My brother's previous bumper was rusting fairly heavily, so for Christmas, my dad and I pitched in and got him a replacement bumper that we ended up installing for him. Now, the strangest new addition to my brother's truck brings us to the rear window stickers here. So I am the oldest of three, and I currently attend Lancaster Bible College, and my sister currently attends Liberty University. She's in the middle, with my brother being the youngest, and he thought it would be absolutely hilarious if when he was visiting us, he stopped at the gift shops for each school, and he got an LBC mom sticker and an LU dad sticker. Now, the one downside to the LU dad sticker is it's on the inside, and the tint is so dark on his rear windows, you can't really see it, and it ruins his absolutely hilariously strange joke. The most instantly recognizable and newest modification to this truck are these new smoked out headlights that I installed yesterday as of filming this. I think they look fantastic. Now, the previous headlights had begun to fog, and despite all of our efforts, they just didn't really seem like they were going to be able to be saved. And my brother had really expressed interest in smoked out headlights, so for his birthday coming up, I purchased these for him and put them in. In addition to that, we also put LEDs in the headlights, which add to a slightly more modern look for this truck. Moving to the interior here, when we purchased this truck, it was as clean as a whistle. I have no idea why that is the current measurement for cleanliness, but the truck has retained that clean as a whistle look. We've really upkept it very well. My brother has taken amazing care of this truck. No rips in the fabric. Now, the driver's side belt buckle does look like it's been gnawed at by some sort of monster, but we purchased the truck like that and it still buckles, so we have not fixed it as of yet. Stepping up inside here, this is the limited trim, and a lot of people were confused at, including myself, at what a limited trim includes. From what I've been able to deduce from the comment section, this limited has running boards, blacked out mirror caps, and oh goodness, I think that might be it. The limited was pretty basic back in the day. You are going to get four-wheel drive buttons down here, your AC controls, and then I have replaced the regular radio, very ancient, with a touchscreen in here for my brother. No Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but when it boots up here, I'll show you. If we shift this into reverse, we also put a backup camera on it for him, so he does have that ability. There goes my dad. So there is the ability for that backup camera right there, and it does have Bluetooth and everything included on this truck, so that is very nice as well. And then I have a magnetic phone holder up there. I have that on my Tacoma as well. He loves that. Since this one doesn't come with navigation or Apple CarPlay, he can just pop his phone right up there and have his navigation for Google Maps and stuff. And then pretty basic mirror up here, and then as I previously mentioned, you have a sunglasses holder right here, and then you've got your dome lights, which, you know, that hangs in there pretty nicely, and then the door button right there. This is a crazy feature. I mentioned this last time, but it needs to be said again. So this has the coolest visors ever. So this folds out, not only with an extension right there, but there's a second visor up here. So you can have two visors. That's amazing. Why does every vehicle not do that? It's just crazy. It's so cool to have that in the truck. And I'm honestly jealous of my brother's 20-year-old truck because he has that visor ability. Moving in here to the gauge cluster, it currently has 184,434 miles on it. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my brother purchased this truck at about 178,000 miles. So he's put a good 6,000 to 7,000 miles on this in his year of ownership. Alrighty, driving my brother's 2000 Tundra. This thing is really smooth. Still as smooth as the very first day I drove it a little over a year ago when I went to go look at it. I was my brother's truck hunter, and I had tracked down a couple of different deals for him, but I remember going out to the property of the owner at the time, and he used this truck to tow his boat around his big property. The truck sat parked most of the time, and I remember thinking, wow, that is such a clean truck. And obviously it needed to be cleaned up a bit and washed, and a few things needed to be done on it with minor work, but I was like, wow, that is such a nice truck, and I'm so thankful that we got it for the price that we did. My brother ended up paying about $4,700 for this truck, and so many people have told me that is such a steal. In fact, my brother really enjoys the attention, I think, because he'll stop places and people will be like, oh yeah, I have a friend that's got 250,000 miles on his Tundra and it's still going strong, or 300,000 miles. And my brother is really not a car guy, not nearly as much as I am, at least. And it's fun for him to have this because it allows him to still have conversations with car guys and kind of be in that community without necessarily knowing all the specifications stuff. He just knows he has a really cool truck, and a lot of people seem to like it. So I think that's fun for him. Like, he told me the other day he's really thankful for this truck, and he really enjoys it because it allows him to get all his landscaping jobs done, and he can pick up more landscaping jobs because he now doesn't have to wait for me or my truck availability. And it sits up high, it's a really good view. He told me he loves the visibility out of this thing, and I have to agree. Compared to my Tacoma, this thing has amazing visibility, and the seating position is fantastic in here. It's just such a commanding view, and you really feel like king of the road when you're driving it. And this is so silly, I just love him. 16-year-old Tucker, oh, you are my favorite. So he told me that once he got this steering wheel cover a couple days ago, it's like a whole new thing. He loves coming out to his truck now and driving it. He's super excited. He said this steering wheel cover alone makes the truck feel 20 years newer, which I just think is so cool, and I'm really glad he likes it because I think it blends quite well with the rest of this interior. And he loves the Bluetooth on the radio, and he's just having a lot of fun with it. And being a newly licensed driver, I think it's just fun to have the cool big truck, and he really enjoys it. He did not enjoy having the immediate upfront bill of the radiator issue, but thankfully we prayed over the truck and there really wasn't many issues after that. No problems for the last couple of months, and it's held up really well, and he loves it. It's just such a great truck, I think, especially for him. It's very... Anyway, I think that's going to conclude my driving impressions and the video overall. If you guys enjoyed this 1-year update, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, or a comment in the comment section below. I do this for my Tacoma. In fact, I just did my 2-year update for my Tacoma. So I thought, well, why not do this for my brother's Tundra as well, to see how this older truck holds up over time. And I think this is a little bit more of an interesting concept, because obviously there's going to be things that need to be repaired as compared to a brand new Tacoma, where it's like, still good. I mean, it's brand new. You'd hope it'd still be good. So I think this is kind of an interesting sort of series that I've developed here. But let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm also a Christian, so if you have any prayer requests, you can leave those in the comment section as well. And I like to do a weekly Bible verse. So here that is. And as always, no matter what vehicle you have, I hope it lasts you a long time and it serves you well. I'll see you guys next time.